Nikita Zadorov in a Canucks jersey. What do you think of how he fit in with the group yesterday?
Well, obviously he's big. It looks good out there when you have a big guy like that. Yeah, no, I think the trying circumstance, he did a nice job for us. You know, he's very excited. He pretty smart guy. Footy, and we were going over some system stuff with him, and he grasped it pretty good. I think he wants to get into this. You know, the trade's over. You know, the Calgary thing. I think he's ready to get going here.
How nice is it for a head coach to know that you know Sergey and Adam both worked with him in the past and kind of helped the transition here?
Yeah, they're familiar. You know, Footy had him, and then Sergey knows him, so same language. But he speaks great English. I mean, he's an interesting guy. He's got a great personality. I love personalities, and he's gonna add that. That vocal guy. He's a vocal guy. He's not afraid to speak his mind. It's nice to have those guys in the room.
Just to follow up on that too, you know, he's kind of funny too, and
Yeah.
the tension within the long contract, and you've got your leadership group, and that comes with certain elements. But he comes in, and just to have a guy with a bit of swagger,
Yeah, swagger and a little bit, when things go bad or good, I think he's an even keel type of guy too. So it's always good to have those. It's always good to have humor in the room too. You can't always, have your, it can't be serious all the time. So yeah, I love that personality. He's going to add a lot to us.
On the ice, players take notice when he hits the ice. You got to keep your head up. How important is that to have that element in your team?
Yeah, I think in the corners too. Like when I'm a big believer. Like you don't have to kill a guy, but go through people. And when he goes through people, it's going to hurt. And the next time, maybe the guy, he puts his brakes on. We got to get that kind of attitude around here, and he's one of those guys that can give us that attitude.
Every game's different, obviously, and it'll take some time to find levels and roles, but did we see last night? I mean, he gave you 17 and a half good minutes, and Quinn and Hronek were, in the low 20s, which is something we haven't seen for a while from those guys.
Yeah, I mean, for us to be successful, I mean, obviously the recipe we're doing, I mean, yes, you pick and you choose your spots, but yeah, you can't play one pair 28, 29 minutes, and you got to spread the minutes. And obviously having a guy like him come in here, he's going to take a piece of the pie. Then Quinn and Hronek they'll be fresher. I actually think their game will even be better if we can take their minutes down a little bit, because we're having a tough time defending the last 8-9 games. I mean, it's been good and bad, and I think a lot of it's because we're overusing some people. So now you have more guys that are fresh that we can defend harder.
how does that play out with the PK too? I mean, you've been maybe overplaying some people, trying to get the PK up a bit.
Yeah, I mean,
a guy like Nikita can.
Well, I think just a bigger body gets in people's way. Yeah, I mean, if you got 4 penalties and there's 8 minutes, or if he can take 3 or 4 minutes of that lion's share, that's going to really help the whole depth of our defense.
Where are you with the penalty kill? You've been supportive after games, even when it's given up a goal or two, but I think it's 7 goals in the last 7 games. It's taken on a bit of water right now. Are you concerned, or where are you with the penalty kill?
Yeah, it just seems like the one thing with the structure, I don't mind everything about it. We're just making that crucial mistake. We're on the wrong side on that goal. We don't protect the backside. And our clears, I don't know with the analytics, I don't think we're one of the worst teams when it comes to clears. When you get a puck on our stick, we're not getting it out. That's 30 seconds, 25 seconds. And our PK forecheck's been pretty good this year. So if we can somehow get better at the clears, and especially near the end of a power play, it seems like teams are scoring with the last 30 seconds, I think. I got to take a look at that. But those are the things that we got to definitely shore up.
Your best PK guy can be your goalie, and there was a play last night where Demko seemed to collide and go down awkwardly. I don't know. I know goalies are creatures of habit. I'm a little surprised to see him out. Do you think he would have had a day off today? Or?
Well, we have a day off tomorrow,
Yeah,
so he wanted to. Yeah, no, we've been managing his minutes and stuff like that. I think last week we kept him off, and we have that spare goalie. So no, he's fresh. He's good.
But he's been. I know this usually trickles down to the goalie coach, but what you have in him and inherited in him, you knew of him before you came here, but to this date, I mean, he seems to be in the conversation as one of the better stoppers in the league.
Oh yeah, 100%. Great goaltenders make great coaches. Who's kidding who? Like, he's a guy that he's a bit like, I didn't know he was like business-like guy. He's very business-like, and he comes to the rink prepared every game, even for practice. Hard to get him to crack a smile. Every once in a while he'll crack a smile, but he's a very business-like guy.
You threw different look there. I guess it started the game before, but with Kuzmenko going to Miller's line,
Yeah.
Lafferty gets an opportunity. You know, is there enough versatility, do you think, in his game to sustain playing with a guy like Petey? Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it's okay to switch lines every once in a while. You know, you get some juice. Lafferty had some juice last night. He had a goal, right? He was, his fingers around the other one when Mikheyev scored. He was around the, so, I thought Kuzi last time was getting a little bit better. So sometimes you change lines, you get some instant results. But now is it sustainable? We'll see.
Did you think that, like, that's not the way to phrase it, but what did you think of Mikheyev's game last night? Like, just 5 shots on goal, the breakaway chance, scored, obviously, he was a net front on the Lafferty goal as well. Like, was that one of Mikheyev's better games?
Yeah, I thought it was better. Yeah, he's another guy that, I don't want to say struggling, but he's just been kind of like, there's certain parts of our guys right now are struggling in certain areas, and I think if you just concentrate on little things, and I told him, Mikheyev, slash across, like start skating harder, like for those, flip pucks, like just, make sure you stop in your own end in the slot for like little things like that. If he could do, the other parts of the game will come. It's just not him; it's other guys. It seems like the little parts of our game are struggling, and it really comes without the puck. When we don't have the puck, it seems like certain guys are struggling, and that's where like a game like yesterday is going to help a guy like Mick. Getting a goal, having that breakaway, having 4 or 5 shots. Yeah, I thought that line. I thought Petey played better. I thought that line was actually pretty good.
Zadorov said he can probably help Kuzi a lot with just being his second year in the league and knowing what the transition's like from the K. Can he be kind of like a go-between for you? I mean, he welcomes it. Zadorov said, I'm anxious to work with Kuzi.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, we have Sergey but Sergey's a coach. True. It's always nice to have your a player or your a peer to help you out and kind of teach you the ropes as a player's point of view. So yeah, that will really help us for sure.
What's the process of like getting Zadorov up to speed on the PK? Like, how is it simple? Are there tons of differences? Is it just communication? Like, what does that look like?
I don't think there's a lot. I mean, there might be a little tweak and a little different with us in Calgary, but I don't think it's much. I will say he's really good at clearing pucks. He had that one puck and he just drilled it down the ice. That was nice to see when he had a guy that can put some meat on the puck and it gets out. But I don't think there's a lot for him to know. It's not, it's not like he's gonna, has to learn a whole new thing. But there's a couple of tweaks here and there. On that goal, maybe let Demmer have the shot. He protects the back door. Little things like that. Those are little savvy little things that we like here as defensemen. Let Demmer play half the net. You take the backside. Then maybe that goal doesn't go in instead of worrying about the shot. So that's the little things that. But he's he's been in the league. I don't know how many years, but 8, 9. I don't know how many years he's been.